Alright guys, so today I'm going to be working on a 2017 GMC Sierra Duramax. This is the L5P. It's got the glow plug issue. Pretty common issue. It's not too hard to fix. There are a couple things you need to watch out for, because if you do mess up, this could turn into a really expensive ordeal. But with just a little bit of precaution taken, you'll be probably just fine. So the first thing you're going to need is some tools to take apart the liner of the wheel well here. I'll show you what you need, so I'm going to turn the camera around now. Alright, so I got the truck running. That's going to be staying running the whole time. It's really cold, and I don't want everything to get cold because that'll make it harder to get this out without any issues. So you're going to need some PB blaster. You're going to need the 68G AC Delcos. Here's the exact part number. You're going to need T15 Torx bit. This is for all these little things holding your fender liner on, your wheel well liner. And then you're going to need, it's a 7mm, an 8mm, and a 10mm, I believe. You're also going to need a lot of extensions. So, and you might want to take your tire off, your wheel off. That's up to you. I'm not going to at first. We'll see if it ends up being something I decide I want to do. But alright, so first things first, we're going to do all these little T15s. You have to do the ones that you can get to, and then you have to turn the wheel if you're going to leave the wheel in. Alright, before I go turn the wheel, I'm going to go ahead and take these little 7mm off here. This trim piece. Well, I'm 14 in, and there's at least one more. So there's a lot. Alright. So now that we got the wheel, or the liner out, you see those? That there, that there, that there, and that one. I'm glad that's not the one I have to deal with. Oh, it is. It's 3 and 7, and I think that's 3 and that's 7. I gotta check the diagram, but I'm pretty sure that's 7, and if that's the case, I'm pretty sure that's 3, and that looks like a pain in the butt. Now you want to take note of how the wires are. You want the wire to end up in that same orientation, which on the second one here, which I believe is number 3. Alright, so I got a close-up here. I wanted to show you guys what's going on. So I took the outer nut off, which holds this wire on right here, and that was the 8mm. Now for this, which is the actual glow plug, you're going to need a deep 10. You're going to have to take this little wire off. Just remember, it was at about the 1 o'clock position. This is number 7 we're doing right now. This one behind here, which is really hard to show, that's going to be number 3, I believe. I'm going to confirm before I do it. So we're on the passenger side, and I already went ahead and sprayed some PB blaster, and then I let it set for a couple of minutes, and these came off without any issue at 180,000 miles. It's a 2017. We're in 2026 now. I did drive the truck for hours beforehand, so keep that in mind. So I'm going to set the camera back down so I can get back to it. Hopefully I can get a good angle for you guys here. I'm actually wedging my phone in the tread between my tires. It actually works very well. So right now my phone looks like it's got about a 1/4 inch of it wedged into the tire, and the rest of it's just free floating in the air. Alright, hopefully this angle will do. So I've already sprayed the PB blaster, and I've already broke it loose, which took very little effort. So that's good. With any luck, this will be simple as that. So you want to be real careful with this, because I read that it's about a $4,000 repair if you lose the head of this little ceramic thing in there. Real careful. That's a nerve-wracking process there. You don't want any of that carbon in your cylinder either. So this is what it looks like. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Probably not, but I'll show you in a minute. It is hot, and there's definitely some buildup on it, but overall, looks all right. 33 watts. Different part number than this one, I will say. This one says 959, but they might have replaced it because it was having so much trouble. You know? Alright, so this is the fun part, guys. This is when we try to get this one in there without having any mishaps. You don't want to bang it into anything, because this is a fragile little piece, and they say that it can cause big problems if you do something dumb to it. So just be nice and steady. So just spin it to the left. Make sure you don't cross thread it. Once you're pretty confident it's in there right. I'm using my hand here. Oh yeah, you can see that's actually a pretty good angle. So I'm just gonna nice and easy here. And they say 13 foot-pounds. And I don't have a torque wrench that's gonna do 13. Actually, you know, I've got a little screwdriver that probably will do 13 foot-pounds. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm just ever so slightly gonna snug this up. I mean, keep in mind 13 foot-pounds is like nothing. Do not break this off. That's it. I mean, it's probably not in there good enough. So I'm gonna back this off a little bit because I actually don't like that it's wobbling around in there. So I'm gonna back it off and make sure that it's threaded correctly.
What is this thing?
What's it look like? Oh, that's this wheel well liner.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, that was not tight enough. Must have just hit a little piece of carbon or something. Alright, so while I'm waiting on her, I'm gonna go ahead and carefully move over to the other one. Alright, so I'm gonna readjust my camera here for you. Alright, so behind that, that's where you're going to try to get to number 3. If you're doing number 3 like lucky me here, it's right back there. So let's try to get that one off without breaking anything. Alright, so I've got a little screwdriver fat wrench, the fat wrench. So we're going to see if this will give me a... you got to know how to use it. It's been a while. But yeah, anyway, we're going to use this little torque wrench here. See if we can get the right amount of pressure so we don't break this thing off. So I'm going to go about 12 pounds. So, not much. But I feel, hey look, there's that thing we just had to order.
Now you have a backup.
Alright. So now, I don't have to worry about breaking this off anymore. Let's see if we can get the right amount of pressure on it. It's still 100% loose. That glow plug's not in. So 10 foot-pounds is definitely not enough. You're gonna have to take it up to 15 because that was basically just stuck. That's why they recommend using the carbon, the glow plug reamer, because basically what just happened was a little bit of carbon buildup was on there. So 10 foot-pounds was not enough. So if I would have stuck with that, that glow plug would have not been in there correctly. So now I have to go tighter, and that's not doing it. So but I'm not going to go any tighter than that. I really just don't think that's a good idea. I'm going to double check the torque specs and put them below, but I think that it was 13 pounds, so I'm not going to go any tighter than that. I think that going tighter than that sounds like a really bad idea. The glow plug is already failing, so worst case scenario, it throws a glow plug light and I do it again. So back to this. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to take a paper towel and shove it in there. I don't have one and I can reach this, so I'm going to put it on there like this. But make sure you don't lose that, or you'll be making a trip out in somebody else's car. So the wire's at the 1 o'clock position. On this side, it's not that big a deal. Katie's going to get to do a lot of editing on this video.
Woo!
There we go. I'm going to call that good. Alright, so this is what I use to torque up number 7 here. And I used about 13 pounds on the inner and the outer nut. Somebody comment below if you got a better opinion on what to do there. That's what I did. I'm also using these to take them out. I put it up to about 15-20 pounds to take them out. That way I know I'm not breaking anything. So that one's in. Now on to the fun one. I gotta get to the one that's behind this shield. I might have to take that shield off there. I don't know what that's to and how easy that comes off. You guys are watching Cylinder 3 live for the first time.
No, they're not. Your big head's in the way.
That's coming off with 13 pounds. So that'll be fun. Hopefully I didn't let it cool off too much. I don't want to break this thing. So unfortunately I've lost the nut. The outer nut from Cylinder 3. So I tried the paper towel trick. That's actually how I lost it. I probably should have just done it without. So anyway, now I'm going to go ahead and change the glow plug, and then I'm going to go out and get the nut, and hopefully I don't have any trouble getting the glow plug out. Alright, so Cylinder 3 has proven very tedious. So far, I've already dropped the nut, but I'm going to have to go get another one of those because I can't retrieve it. I did get the glow plug to break free without breaking it, but I had to use one of these wobblers. So, this is what you're going to need to use to be able to get that out, and that is not something that's real comforting, because if you break this off, you know, it's a lot of money. So let's go ahead and get this last one on here, and then I'll run out and get this nut. They package them nicely at least, because they know if you drop that, it's over. So be very, very careful with this. Now getting this into that hole is going to be hard. The only thing I can say is be careful, because if you chip that, it's really, really bad. Alright, put that actually, never mind. So, nice and steady. Oh, what a pain. It's in, but it was sketchy. I might have nicked it a time or two on the way in. It's very difficult to get that in there smoothly. What a pain. So when you're going in, I can feel carbon buildup on those threads. So you're going to want to, you know, in and out, in and out. Alright, so now remember to turn your torque back down on your wrench, because I had it at 20. Turn it back down to about 12. And then connect that up. Try to get some torque on there without breaking anything. Cross your fingers, because that's all you can really do. Oops. I'm going to give it just a tiny bit more, make sure I got it, because I got this funny angle on here. Alright, we're going to, I hope I can get it back off here. Oh, that'll be good. Oh no. Now I've lost my whole socket in there. The wobbler came off. Alright, well, I'm going to stick my hand in there and see if I can get it. Unbelievable. My 10 mil. Give me my 10 mil back. Those are valuable. Dang it. This is why mechanics charge so much. There's always something dumb preventing it from being an easy job. Alright, so I got all the glow plugs in. We had one issue. We lost the nut that goes there. I would recommend picking up an extra in case this happens to you. So I'm going to go out and get that, and I'm going to come back here and I'm going to put that on and make sure the truck starts up. One thing I will tell you, when you're putting these in, if you're only using 13 pounds of torque, you really got to watch the glow plug might seem like it's in all the way and the torque wrench is telling you that it's got enough torque, but when I was putting the wires on, I could wiggle it around so I could tell that this was not in there correctly. That's why you really probably should use the reamer tool that they recommend, because these threads don't go in there real nice. So I would imagine there's like carbon buildup or something there. So probably should get the reamer tool. If you don't get a good seal, basically what will end up happening is carbon will escape. You're essentially going to have a misfire, and this will, kind of like lock itself in. It'll be impossible to change next time from what I've read. Hopefully that's not the case, but I think I got them on there tight. I wiggled them around, torqued them down again, did that a couple of times. I don't know what I'm going to do other than that. I don't want to break it off in there. The last thing I'm going to do is break it off in there. So I'm going to go get that. I'm going to start it. Hopefully we got no more codes. I'm going to disconnect the batteries before I leave because I don't have an OBD2 scanner, and I'm hoping that'll do a reset. We'll be back. Alright, so we just got back. I had to end up going to Home Depot to get this. AutoZone, Nora O'Reilly carried it. Alright, there we go. So I put 15 foot-pounds. Everything is A-OK, I believe. We should have glow plugs now. Yeah, I highly recommend you guys try putting that in by hand, not the paper towel trick. If you can reach in there, do that, because I lost that nut that way. So I used stainless. It should be fine. I used a locking nut too. I'm sorry, lock washer. Alright, so I'm going to fire it up. Connect the batteries and fire it up, that is. Hopefully we don't have any more engine lights. Alright guys, so I just got back from the hardware store and put that back on. I haven't put the wheel well back, the fender liner back on yet, but I went ahead and fired the truck up. It runs. Come around, let's see if there's an engine light. So earlier today, I had a whole sheet of engine lights codes. Nothing. That is a good feeling. That engine light's been on for 6 months, guys. Hit that like and subscribe button if this helps you out. I sure appreciate it. I feel real good about that. That really is a big weight off my chest. I had a huge sheet. So I'll walk you through everything I did, but this was the glow plugs. Thanks for watching.